G'day gang, Danny, how you going? We're back in the World of Warcraft on the Human Paladin Artraxius. World of Warcraft retail. Just in case you're wondering, if you're confused and you're not quite sure. It is in fact retail. It was raining, and now it's not raining anymore. Welcome to Theramore. Okay, so we have got a quest out here. Now we did have a quest over here, and I'll explain what happened as we go for a little ride. Now, I did not know that there was this. That there was this whole other bridge out here leading us out this way. I had no idea. I was so used to just exiting from this way. No idea that this existed. That's where Nat Pagel is, I imagine. Probably still down there. So, yeah, so what happened is I started recording. I did there were some updates that came down. Good old updates, you know, between my recording software, Windows, and, you know, a few reboots and so on. Anyway, I did my recording, and silly me, I didn't check that it was recording properly. So while I recorded all the video, there was no sound. And I've had this issue in the past with over different series. Every once in a while, it'll catch me off guard. And, you know, I guess I get so used to the method in which I record videos that sometimes I'll just skip over little things that, you know, I really should pay attention to. And one of them is it recording sound? So, in this instance, it wasn't. So I did a whole bunch of quests all around here. It had something to do with goblins. Tabetha's Rest, I think it was. And eventually, I helped out a goblin over here. I think it was here. Somewhere around here. And she just said, could you make a delivery to Mudsprocket? So I did. I ended up at Mudsprocket. So I haven't done those quests, but I did all the quests over here. And it's unfortunate, but I can't do anything about it, really. Unless I replay a video with zero sound on it. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna skip ahead, pretend it doesn't exist. I don't think you missed out on that much anyway, to be honest. A lot of kill quests, I had some great things to say, the secret of life and all that sort of stuff, but, you know, apart from that, nothing too crazy. So we're going to start off with inspecting the ruins. Speak to Inspector Tarim at the Shady Rest Inn. And thankfully, I can confirm sound is recording. Both my voice and the audio of the game. So we're all good here today.
What can I do for you?
Oh, it's good to see that Captain Vimes is finally assigning others to this investigation. I've used a reflective powder to dust the area. It will reveal suspicious objects and markings, helping you to focus your efforts. Look over anything the dust illuminates.
For the Alliance.
Well, I see something right here. A hoofprint. Suspicious hoofprints. Rows of hoofprints lead away from the still smoking skeleton of the Shady Rest Inn. There are at least a few visible impressions, with more rows of prints almost imperceptible in the soft mud of the marsh. Okay, yep, I see that. What do we got over here? Looks like a small shield, but it's actually a guard badge. A glint of light on the ground catches your eye from underneath the rubble. Brushing away debris and ash caked onto the object reveals the insignia of a gold anchor on white, enameled on the surface, the sign of Theramore. Underneath the anchor is embossed the name Lieutenant Paval Reethe. We've got a black shield over here. An iron shield, blackened by the fire that raged through the inn, is affixed to the crumbling chimney, one of the few remaining parts of the structure that once made up the Shady Rest Inn. The shield can be removed from the brick of the chimney, which I imagine we did, even though it's still showing up right there. And we're going to go and take all that back to Theramore Isle, so that's fine. Let's utilize our Hearthstone to get there super quick. see where they want us to go next. So yes, for those of you ever considering, look, I want to record a video, I want to do some Let's Plays, I want to do some video stuff in general, always check. Make sure after updates, especially after updates, do a test recording. Make sure the video is playing with sound, video, do all that good stuff. Because there's nothing more annoying than recording 45 minutes worth of video only to find out you have no sound. There's nothing worse. So don't let that be you. Don't be that guy. Don't be me from the other day.
Well met.
Okay, Hoofprints, eh? Oh, it is true that there is an extraordinary amount of centaur activity in the lands near the Dust Wallow Marsh. In brief excursions into the Barrens, we found their camps and holdings dotting the area. I'll send out Falgren Hastil, one of our trackers, to see if we can find where the tracks lead.
Be careful. Greetings.
Tesseran, I need someone, Falgren Hastil, preferably, to take care of Artraxius' lead on the prince near the Shady Rest Inn. Falgren kneels. Falgren Hastil reporting, sir. I will find where the Hoofprints lead and I'll report back to you. Off he goes then. Alright. Have you heard anything of interest at the Shady Rest Inn? Oh, it's never good news when a guard's badge is brought to me. Sometimes it's a man or woman's who's fallen in battle, and I'm left to bring the news to the grieving family. Other times, we never find out what happened to them. And other times, it's even worse than that. I don't recognize the name of Lieutenant Paval Reethe. Your best bet would be to check with Adjutant Tesseran. He keeps track of all the records for the Theramore Guard, from personnel to their equipment. He should be able to tell you who this Reethe is with a quick check of his books.
Go with honor, friend.
Have you found evidence from the site of the Shady Rest Inn? Well, I'm no expert with the construction of arms and armor. Their use, yes, but not their making. This shield seems as ordinary as any, excepting the damage from the fire that engulfed the inn.
Light bless you.
I'm sorry I can't be of much help, Artraxius, but I can refer you to someone who would be. Kaz Two-Sprocket, one of the best blacksmiths, works the forge at the smithy. Take the shield to him and see what he can tell you.
For the Alliance.
Alright, let me check in with Adjutant Tesseran about those records. Hello, Artraxius. You'd like information about a specific member of Theramore Guard? Reethe, was it? Just give me a moment to find the right book. Red Path. Oh, here it is. Lieutenant Paval Reethe joined the Theramore Guard along with most of the recruits that came across the sea with Lady Proudmoore, enlisted with the Marines of Kultiras at the age of 16. Distinguished service, promotions, listed as missing.
Have a good one.
Well, go back to him.
King's honor, friend.
Missing? That would be Tesseran's kind of way of saying traitor. No doubt he's one of those fools who blindly loyal to Admiral Dalen, that he turned traitor. Isn't that a delicious irony? The deserters accuse us of betraying the Alliance. Well, it has been a struggle maintaining our presence in the marsh, but through strength of our resolve, we have been able to maintain several defensive watchtowers throughout the area. The latest information and scouting reports I have received indicate that a group of deserters has squatted in our abandoned tower at Lost Point, southeast of the inn. The local lieutenant seems to be Balos Jackin. See if you can get some information out of him. Be warned, Artraxius, he may be a tough nut to crack.
Be careful.
Let's go crack some nuts, as they say. As somebody once said, cracked acorns. Let's go crack an acorn. So we got 2 places. I'm going to go to the blacksmith, right? Flap around the side at top speed.
Pleased to meet you.
Hey, Kaz.
Hey!
Hey! Something for me to look at. Interesting piece of iron you have here. Definitely not made of any of the blacksmiths I know or on this side of the sea, and it's certainly not my work. Ah, I almost missed this. The leather strap on the back must have burnt off. But it seems like it was made to fit a large person. I guess a Tauren, actually. That's about all I can tell you. Tell Captain Vimes I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help.
Be seeing you!
Oh, I don't know about that.
Looking
Maybe.
for something specific?
I am looking to sell you my junk, but you do not want to buy my junk, so let's leave it at that. And over the top. Guess I don't have any junk on me. Level 51 helmet. 28 critical strike, 22 stamina, 15 strength. Well, everything's better on that, isn't it? Except the way it makes me look. Might have to transmog that out. I think I might have actually spoken about that in the last video. So it's kind of hard to remember what I spoke about in the last video or the video before that. As in the video, the lost video, the video that I recorded and no one would get to see because there was no sound in the other video, in the actual video itself. I'll get into that in a second. That's not much information to work on, but we'll have to keep it in mind. Hopefully some of the other pieces of this mystery will fall into place and paint a more helpful picture of what happened.
Light bless you.
Okay. Get information from Reethe and Balos Jacken, which are... they're back out there, okay? Yes, so some of my guildmates were very kind and took me out to the place where you can actually get a transmogrifying mount called the Grand Expedition Yak. And gave me the gold and said, take this gold and buy that thing. And so I did.
I have just the thing.
So the great thing about this mount is I can actually transmogrify on the fly. I don't have to keep going back to towns. So for this, in this case, I will go with the hidden helm, but yeah, I can certainly transmogrify to all these collected pieces that I've acquired over time, but
May your feet find good trails.
I like to have the hair free at the moment. I think the mount was 100,000 gold, so it's not the cheapest item to get, but if you want that convenience, I suppose, of not having to go back to town. Or you can also utilize these little items you can buy, which you can do, it's like a one-off type of use. But they're not that expensive, I don't think, if you just want to have a few handy, but it just depends, I guess, how fussed you are with transmogrifying. Ultimately, it would be great to see a system where you would choose a look, and no matter what you apply, or whatever you pick up, upgrades and so on, you would always maintain that look. I think that would be the way to go, and it charges you every time you want to change that particular appearance, because the hassle having going back to a transmogrifier is, it's a bit much. If you get like a new piece while you're out there, you know, be nice if it just maintains that look. Alright, so this is the place. We got Deserter Lieutenants. Let's get that information. Come on, Deserters, I'll take you all on. I'll take every single one of you on. Uh-oh. What have I done? What have I done? Got more incoming. No escape, punks. No escape. Oh, he's getting away. Not too far. Love that Hammer of Wrath. Alright, we surrender. Just put your weapons down. I'll cooperate. You are... What? You say you're going to cooperate after I just taken out the entire area? Could have done that a lot earlier. All those people could have survived. Did Vime send you? Couldn't do his dirty work himself, could he? Reethe, that coward? We threw him out of the camp because he insists on raiding the supplies of the ogres up at Brackenwall Village. We're not so many in number that we could stand up to those mindless brutes. He crossed the line one too many times, so we left him to fend for himself. Now I helped you out, so why don't you help us out and forget you bumped into us? Well, I would love to do that, but it looks like I've... Oh, you got one person left. There's one person. Oh, maybe there's two. There's two. You got 3 or 4. Alright, so we go back to Theramore Isle. So I'll take to the skies again. Other quest that I did in the video that you won't be able to see. I had to use like a totem or was it a capacitor or a totem or something? And kill a few like crocolisks, I think it was. Get some marsh venom. I don't know what that was for, maybe an antidote or something. But it wasn't anything too crazy, and I don't think any of it had to do with the main story progress anyway. So you didn't miss out on too much. I did do something similar to what you just saw then. I ran into a camp and I took on everybody. As many as I could anyway. I needed 12 kills. So I did that in one go. So that's why I felt a little confident about doing just that. What I did just now. I managed to survive it then. And I survived it this time too. Ooh-ah! All the way back up. Sir Captain Vimes.
Greetings.
Now you will send Lieutenant Caldwell, not Cadwell, that's a different game, to deal with the deserters at Lost Point. In addition, I will instruct him to find Reethe. The marsh is not so big and trackless, and he should be unable to find him.
Go with honor, friend.
A grim connection. Is he talking to somebody? No, just me. I've spoken with Inspector Taram regarding the evidence you gathered from the ruins of the Shady Rest Inn. He seems certain that the Hoofprints and the shield you found there point to the Grimtotem clan of Tauren. With reports of Grimtotem activity on the rise in the marsh, this has to be more than a mere coincidence. I'm sending you to speak with Captain Darrell, who is something of an expert on the Grimtotems. Follow the road north out of town to North Point Tower. It's the second outpost on the road.
Light bless you.
Light bless you. I think I know exactly where that is. We've passed it a fair few times in this series already. The rains. Now, I don't quite know if that's happening because I've got sun-warmed sand on, which allows me to experience midday, or it's just a funny part of Theramore, because now it's raining again, so yeah, it's kind of strange. It could be that this thing's messing with it though. Now, what else did I talk about in that video? I think I spoke briefly about, people sort of keep asking me, well, what are you going to do after this? Are you going to go to Draenor? Are you going to go to the Burning Crusade? Are you going to go to Pandaria? What are we doing? What are we doing? Look, I think that's so far ahead that I've not even contemplated it. I purely, with this guy, the intention is to focus on this piece of land and that piece of land, and not the Cataclysm areas. However, being that this guy we're in the Cataclysm era right now. I and my other character that I'm working on, that Burning Crusade Classic series, that guy is the father of this dude. So, and he's a lot older. He's going to go through Wrath of the Lich King Classic. This guy is the age he is right now, but he eventually ends up going through the Shadowlands, which if you haven't seen it already, it was a series that I did on my other channel, but I have linked it on this channel down below, on the bottom there, if you'd like to see that. And that, of course, takes place when the Shadowlands takes place, and he is a lot older. So, what did he go through? I guess he went through the Cataclysm, right? He went through Warlord to Draenor, he went through Mists of Pandaria. Which one comes first, Mists of Pandaria or Draenor? Or whichever one it is. He went through the Battle for Azeroth, or Legion, Battle for Azeroth, and eventually Shadowlands. So there's stuff to play around with there. Let's talk to this guy first. Captain Vimes thinks the Grimtotems are behind the destruction of the Shady Rest Inn. Oh, they wouldn't have been first on my list. Oh, sorry, you're an elf. On my suspects. But if Captain Vimes sent you here to follow up on a lead, he must have his reasons. Regardless, the Grimtotems have been a thorn in our side for some time, and we're always glad to have the extra help.
Be careful.
The Grimtotems may be the most warlike of all the Tauren clans, but they're by no means unorganized. If they're the ones who put the torch to the Shady Rest Inn, they'll have had others or orders from one of their clan elders. There's a large Grimtotem settlement called Blackhoof Village to the northwest. They've been using it as a base to attack the tower, but I'll bet as you'll find the orders you're looking for there. Check the village elders for traces of the orders you seek. If the equipment you found at the ruins of the inn belonged to a Grimtotem attack party, there's likely to be more like it within their camp to the northwest. We haven't been able to gather much information about Blackhoof Village, but judging from the size of the raiding parties, there's a substantial force base there. Do whatever you have to capture some of their equipment, so that we can compare it with your findings from the inn.
Good luck, friend.
Now, going back to what I was saying just before all that, yeah, certainly there's something to do there. I mean, if I was to do it proper, it would be, after we're done doing all the base areas, I would go through Cataclysm, at least the Cataclysm areas, and zones, and some dungeons that I pass by. And then I would go on to the next thing. Now, is it Mr. Pandaria? I think it is. Wait. No. Yes. Yes, Mr. Pandaria. So I would go through that next. And then Warlord to Draenor, and so on and so forth. Until we eventually get back to... up to date, I suppose. Which would be Shadowlands. At which point it would kick off to the other Artraxius, who's already gone through Shadowlands. And in fact, that guy is going to go through Dragonflight whenever that launches. So if this series is still going as is, that's fine. I guess that Artraxius is the present. This guy is the past, and the other Artraxius is the past beyond the past. It's very complicated, but hey, if you guys are still watching at that point, that many years down the line, still keen to see more of Artraxius' story, still liking and digging the videos, then I'm more than happy to continue. It all entirely counts on you guys, because I for sure could just keep recording forever. But you gotta imagine, this is gonna be a long series. This isn't something that's gonna be done within a week. This isn't something that's gonna be done within a year. This isn't something that's gonna be done within 10 years. Well, maybe that might be a bit long, but it certainly could go on for a long time. So as long as there's interest, I am happy to continue. Which is something you could actually help me along with. If you do know or have any friends that would be interested in seeing something like this, or a community that you could share these videos with, that'd be much appreciated. So... we're looking for the battle plans, which is probably in that big camp there, that big tent over there. Done. Done. Just so many mobs walking along here. Oh, there's the note. Oh, no, that's something different. Combine 4 into the... Ah, right. So we get 4 of these. I didn't see it anyway. It must just be any of them. Sorry, buddy. I can't break you out. I've already done that, apparently. I wonder if there's a greater chance of getting it from elders, though. Oh, I got a lot of angry Taurens. Rocking and rolling. Absolutely rocking it. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up now. Okay, now the other thing I can do with that mount is I can mount it. I can ride it around, but I can also
I have many lucky doos.
use it
Like.
as a bit of a vendor on the go, which is nice when you've actually got things to sell.
Good fortune to our friends.
But if I can just create a little bit of space, that's nice. Alright, so from that encounter, all we did is got 2 parts. Wow. 2 parts of the battle plan? I expect a little bit more than that. That's a lot of Grimtotem I took down. That was a lot of Grimtotem. Looks like the elders are the ones we want, though. They all seem to light up. Again, if you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a Burning Crusade Classic series. Combat is a lot slower. I am a Protection Paladin in that as well. But it might be something that interests you. So have a look at that. Take a little look at that. We've also done a Demon Hunter series. Starting experience. Starting experience. And we've got a Worgen starting zone series. Right after I record this, I'm actually going to start on my Draenei series, which will be in retail as well. If you'd like to see starting zone series in classic as well, let me know. Let me know in the comments if that's something of interest. But I do plan on going through all the retail ones.
Can I assist you?
Were you able to find any trace of the orders? I did. Let me read them. Okay, I've sent you a force of considerable size, Elder, but you must take care in your activities. Your first priority will be to halt the advance of the Alliance curse into our lands. Some of the more adventurous humans have already started the construction of a large building on the border with the Barons. See to it that they know their kind are not welcome beyond the borders of their wretched Theramore. Lastly, a word of caution to you, Elder. Do not make your plans known to the ogres of Brackenwall. Those brutes are incapable of even the slightest hint of discretion. Agashem.
Greetings.
Captain Darrell glances at the battle plan. I'd say it doesn't get any clearer than this. They've taken it upon themselves to fight back against human settlements in the area, and I have little doubt Theramore is next on their list.
Till next we meet.
Did you get those weapons from Blackhoof Village? Captain Darrow inspects the armaments. You've brought from Blackhoof Village. There's no doubt about it. These match the description exactly, and there's just one problem. These have never been used in battle. Blackhoof Village must not be the only Grimtotem post in the marsh. Biting Great Axe.
Good luck, friend.
Tabetha's assistance. I can't spare any men to help search for a second Grimtotem outpost, but I think I know of someone who might be able to help you. Deep in the quagmire to the south, there is a small farmstead owned by Tabetha. She may seem little more than an old hermit, but the truth is that she's a mage and a scryer of some renown. Follow the road south to her farm and seek her help in finding the culprits responsible for the massacre at the Shady Rest Inn.
Till next we meet.
Now, we already have met Tabetha, and I did find that post. That's actually the post I was talking about earlier, where I had taken on 12 enemies. So I think it was Direhorn post. So we'll fly over there, or I'll fly over the top of it, just so you get an idea of what I did. It was very quick. Somewhere around here. Here we go. So I went over here and I took out these Grimtotem. 12 of them. Really quickly. I actually gathered up all these clowns and took them down. Now I think that was at the behest of Tabetha. So maybe this is the end point, maybe? We'll see. Or maybe she'll send me back.
Step on up. Have a good one. Light be with you.
So you want me to scry for Grimtotems, eh? What will you say when I tell you there's no need? There's no scrying necessary to see the trouble my new neighbours are creating, and if this is the band that burnt down the Shady Rest Inn, as you claim, there's no reason to tolerate their presence any longer. Take this torch and raise their camp to the ground. You'll find Direhorn just to the north of my farm near the road. You can't miss it, really, as the Grimtotems have done a splendid job of announcing their presence with those totems they favour. Use Tabetha's torch to burn the north. Oh, okay, so we're going to go there anyway. Cool. And I'll probably end up taking out 12 of them anyway.
I supply only the finest goods.
Let's sell the junk, make a little bit of space. Oops, let's keep that just in case. You never know. Oh, I can make some spider sausage. Alright, that should do. That should do us just fine. In fact, I'm starting to think, where possible, I might actually begin sticking with main zone story quests. Although I've got to see how I can differentiate between that and a normal side quest. I think the main quests are the ones that show up on the map, right? Side quests not so much. Because if I did that, I probably would be able to get through zones a little, well, somewhat quicker. I guess the other side of it is that a lot of the side quests end up being in those main story areas anyway. So I don't know about that. Alright, let's set this thing ablaze. Let's burn it up while standing in the middle of the tent. Job done. Job's done. Back over the top. Flapped over to Tabetha. Let's see what she's got to say now.
Need help?
Have you put that torch to good use? I hope the Grimtotems got the message. Any attempt to return will be met with far worse than a mere torch. My apprentices and I will see to that. Justice for the Hyals. Although these Grimtotems were simply a nuisance to me, Captain Vimes will want to know of your deeds. Bring him the news that you have tracked down and dealt with those responsible for the burning of the Shady Rest Inn. It's too late to say Jim Hyal family, but perhaps the Grimtotems will think twice before attacking anyone connected to them.
Safe travels.
Man, struggling to speak today. Ugh. Alright. Thankfully the Hearthstone is off the cooldown, so we'll just utilise that. Take us back there at top speed. And that probably would have seen a zone storyline completed in one go. Which I think, going forward, I actually wouldn't mind doing like that. Getting a zone storyline quest or quest line done each video. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of difficult because you got, you know, side quests and kind of all mixed up. All taking place at the same place, same spot. Might as well pick them up at the same time, right? The captain listens to your report intently. We have avenged James and his family, but not even that can restore what was destroyed. I wish we had a way of letting James, Hyal's wife and son know that we have brought their murderers to justice. Captain Vimes produces a small wreath decorated with flowers. There are some who say that their spirits will know. Even if we cannot reach them, it's not much, but I'd like you to lay the wreath at the Hyals family monument. It's one of the stones in the graveyard just north of Theramor's gates.
Be careful.
Alright, buddy, I'm on it. Peace at last. Take it to the skies. You can see it's just outside the main entrance. Or exit. I don't know. Entrance or exit. Depending on both, I guess. Here we go. Let's lay it down. James. James, no, you're not James. You're the one who tracked down the brutes who did this to us. I tried so hard to tell Jim, to tell anyone who was behind this, but I couldn't find a way. Thank you for helping us and helping Jim. If you see him, tell little Jimmy and I love him and that we're waiting for him. Mummy, when will we see Daddy again? I don't know when we'll see Daddy again, Jimmy, but I know he loves you and he misses you very much. Aww. Aww. Alright. Job is done. Actually, because we can fly, let's enter from the top. I'm sure that saved me about 2 seconds.
What can I do for you?
Captain Vimes smiles slyly as you relate the events you witnessed at the Hyal family grave. It's good to know that they understand. You didn't tell them about James, did you? I'll deliver his wife's message to him, but I doubt he'll understand.
Go with honor, friend.